I'm Tumie Letsoenyo and welcome to yet another exciting episode of Truth Talk. Today I'm interviewing South Africa's greatest vocalist and game changer, Nothende Madumo. So now, Nothende, we're going to ask you, we want to know,
yes.
Who are you? Where were you born? And your family? We want to know.
I was born in Mafikeng, in the Northwest
wow.
Province. 31 years ago. I'm not afraid to tell my age anymore. You let go of these things the older you get, you know. I was born in 1984 on the 14th of July. It was a full moon. I did my research. I am a Cancerian, so all these things come together perfectly. And I grew up, when I was born, we're living as a huge family. The entire family was there. My mom, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, in a farm in Mafikeng. So it was that kind of life where you only have one neighbor because, farms are so big that you can't really only have one neighbor. And I really remember my family being very musical. My grandfather, he loved music so much, he had his children learn how to play the piano. My aunt was actually taught by Abdullah Ibrahim how to play. My grandfather would sit me down and make me listen to Frank Sinatra and Jonas Gwangwa and Miriam Makeba and all those musical greats, So those are the things that I mostly remember about my childhood. Yes, there's the typical childhood memories of just family gatherings and cooking and learning how to cook and learning how to all these little things. But when it comes to music, man, my family had I could say sophisticated appreciation for music.
Hello. Hi.
But I really take a lot from that. I think that was my first schooling when it comes to music.
And siblings,
I've got 3 siblings.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the eldest.
Oh, wow.
I do have a stepbrother who's my age, just slightly younger than me, but I'm the eldest. And yeah, man, everybody's very artistic. My brother is creative director at an advertising agency.
Mm-hmm.
My sister's still in high school, but she's learned how to play the piano. She writes, she's written plays, she's written songs, she raps if she wants to. She really does whatever everybody's just creative, which I really love that about my family.
So moving forward to the next question, we want to know, did you, your dreams? Obviously you had dreams,
yes.
You had goals, you had aspirations. Have you achieved 1, 2, 3, or 4 of your dreams already?
I'll tell you this.
So how?
I'll tell you this.
Yes.
When you're young and you're in primary school, and people ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Yes.
We always say things that we hear others say. So we either say, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a doctor, I knew from the age of 11 when I wrote my first song that I wanted to do music. There are a lot of goals that I've achieved, some very small, some very big, but there's a lot of things that I've achieved that I didn't even dream about, I recorded a song with Frank McComb, who's like a music magician,
Wow.
from the States. And my family, I discovered Frank McComb through my family. They listen to him because he's such an incredible jazz, soul vocalist, and he sings exactly like Donny Hathaway. So it's just an amazing thing to experience him. And for me to record a song with him, I never dreamed of such a thing. I didn't plan for anything like that, but it happened. So there's certain things in my life, actually most of the things that happen in my life are things that I never imagined. Which is the beauty of life, I guess.
Nothende, guys, you've heard it for yourself. So now we want to know, Nothende. You're one of the artists that I actually admire. Honestly, world know it, it's out there. Music theory, you have it. You understand your craft in totality. It's very rare that you find artists now. And you're part of the game changers. Even now, you're busy with the youth, empowering and passing on the baton.
Yes.
Most artists don't do that.
Yes.
But how did everything start?
When I was in primary school, and I know that we all have different backgrounds, we didn't all grow up the same, but I grew up attending a private school. And in that school we had music as part of the school syllabus. So after English, we'd have music.
Yeah.
And that's when I started to learn music. When I then went from a private school to a government school, everything changed.
To be direction.
I'll tell you about my first, I would say, music breakthrough.
Yes.
I didn't think of myself as a singer for a while when I was very, very young. I just appreciated music. I listened to it with my family. I could hear a good singer, a good song, but I never actually saw myself as someone who can sing. So in primary school, they were looking for people to join the choir. They'd make us sing in music class. Then one day she stopped us. She's like, someone here is singing nice. Who is it? So she's pointing in the direction of alto, which is where I was.
Yes.
Now I can't say I don't know who she's hearing.
Yes.
So everyone's saying it's between me and the girl next to me. But we all kind of know that the girl next to me couldn't really sing. But I'm just standing there because I don't know what the teacher heard. So she asked us to sing. Then she pulls me to the side. She's like, I need to give you a solo. And I said, no, I can't do solos. I'm not there yet. She goes, no, it's fine. It will be very, very simple. You'll just start the song and then just do one little verse and then everyone else will sing after you, and that's it. So I started doing the solo. And then after a few rehearsals, her and the conductor start telling me that I need to start singing with feeling. Now I'm 11 years old. I don't know anything about feeling at that age. So I'm trying to figure out, what are they talking about? I must sing with feeling. Does this mean like I need to sing louder or, I don't know.
Feel it,
One choir rehearsal, as we're walking in, the teacher said, okay, we're going to start with Olive's song. I used my other name back then. We're going to start with Olive's song. And today, Olive, you're going to sing with feeling. Now, she said this in front of everyone. So I'm now under pressure to actually sing with feeling. Because everyone has heard that this is what is going to happen. So it must happen. So I'm stressing. I'm trying to find this feeling. I'm trying to understand what it is. So I was going through something with my friends where my friends were literally turning their backs on me. And most of them were in the choir. And on that specific day, I'm standing there trying to figure out what the feeling is, and they're literally like, Olive is so I'm feeling so vulnerable. I'm just like, could I just drown in the ground today?
Wow.
And then the emotions of everything got to me. So as I started singing, I started crying. Naturally, an elder would kind of stop the moment because the child is crying. What's wrong? Is everything okay? No, my music teachers are like, yes, Olive, that's it. That's it. Keep going. So I'm so confused. You can imagine what was going on in my head at that time. Because this person is saying yes. These people are telling me things. There's other things going on in my head. I'm just like, what is this? But when that moment was done, I understood 100% what they were telling me. Why they said, I need to sing with feeling. It wasn't about finding a feeling. It's really about connecting to what you feel in that moment and letting it come out, letting it really come through in that song. And that's been my thing since.
The hardest, most challenging year in your life or season in your life that was just so challenging that it marked your breakthrough. You know, it was a springboard because the seed has to die.
Yes.
So that moment.
It was, I don't know what year it was. It was about 10 years, 11, 12, somewhere there ago. Not too long after high school, obviously, early 20s or just before 20. And obviously at that time you want to do things.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, you're out of school, you want to live this adult life and just get a taste of this life outside of school. And obviously my dream has always just been to live as a musician. And the reality of my family not understanding that hit me once I finished school. I realized that they actually don't get it. All along I thought, they'll get it over time, they'll understand. And then I finished matric and I realized that, okay, they actually don't feel me, they don't want me to do this, they don't see it. So that became the first difficult thing. where I had to battle between myself and my parents. And it's a difficult choice to make because you want to please your parents. You don't want them to be mad at you and upset with you and angry with you. But at the same time, you need to be happy. You need to be very, very, very happy. So that was the first sort of battle. And it was going on for some time. And then my career started shooting, right? So I was busy all the time. I was in the studio, coming back late, performances, and this was making my parents more and more angry. It was just getting them, they just couldn't understand that there's this child who comes home late every day. She's out at these parties. You know,
Yeah,
they just see it, yes. She's out at these parties every other night. She's in Durban performing at some party where people are getting drunk. She comes back late. What is going on in her life? And then I was in this abusive relationship. I can't, it's not necessarily physical abuse. I stopped when it started getting there because I was like, there's no way I'm going to get physically abused. But there was a lot of emotional abuse. A lot of emotional abuse. So I was carrying all of that, and at the same time, I didn't grow up with my biological father. I didn't really know him. And I had this longing to find him. I had this yearning to just like see him. And I found him. A few months, he was literally on his deathbed. A few months later, he passed away. The last time I saw him was on Father's Day of the year that he passed away. And that didn't sit well with my parents because it was like, hey, these people are never here for you, why, you know. I suppose it's just a typical thing of why do you want to go to people that were never there for you? To try and please others or to make myself happy? And it was hard realizing that making yourself happy means you're going to piss off a lot of people. And I couldn't take it. I'm a very, very emotional person. Eventually, I tried to kill myself. That was like the lowest I've ever been in my life. I just made that decision. I'm going to try and kill myself. Obviously, that didn't work out. And obviously, with something like that happening, everyone now wants you to go to therapy. Oh, you need to go see someone. Everyone is just on your case. They don't want you to be alone because they don't trust you when you're on your own. But I knew. I think it was probably a Saturday when I tried to commit suicide. The Sunday, I knew that my problem was that I didn't love myself. I knew it. And I knew that the only way I was going to get better was to spend time with myself. And whoever it is that comes out in that moment, I have to be okay with that. I can't now want the attention of or have friends around just so that I'm now more comfortable with myself. So I knew it, and that was another challenge because everyone was like, no, you need to go see a therapist, you need to I'm like, no guys, I need to be alone. No, you can't be alone. Look what happened the last time you were alone. Yeah. But I knew it in my heart. And that's when my journey began. I suppose my new life began. Because I connected to the understanding of self-love. You know, it took a while. It took a long time for me to completely heal. But once I was completely healed, I really felt that this is part of my purpose, to teach about self-love. I experienced it so that I can speak about it and teach about it and make people understand why it's so important to love yourself. Because you don't want to end up needing other people and their attention and their approval just so that you're okay with life, you know. So yeah, that was the first major turning point.
What or who has been your source?
So many people, so many things. My mother is one person, and I know it kind of sounds cliche, you know, but my mother is the most loving person I know. She's the most giving person I know. It doesn't matter what she has to endure, she endures it with so much grace. And to this day, she's one of my biggest sources of inspiration. I'm mostly inspired by my dreams, my literal dreams, because a lot of things that I dream about come to life. They happen in real life. And that really inspires me, knowing that dreams really come true. So when I dream something that seems too big, it seems impossible, because there's other dreams that have come true, I kind of live in the faith that, you know what, it's kind of in time.
So what is your current weakness, like your challenge? What is your thorn in your flesh?
My current weakness, I think, is giving, which is a slightly contradictory to everything I'm saying, but is giving myself so much that I've got nothing left. You know? And it may sound selfish, but a person has to be selfish now and again. You need to replenish your soul, your mind. You need to be alone. Sometimes you need to say no. You can't say yes to everything. So my weakness is that yes to everything, helping everyone, being there for everyone. And then you get home, you're like, who's here for me? You know?
Yes.
But I'm aware of it. So I've started making those changes. Obviously, some people don't like it, they don't understand it. How, Nothende, you've just been this angel this whole time. Now, you're like, I'm like, guys, listen, there's only so much I can take. I also need to be as okay as you are when you're in my company. I must just find that, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's my weakness right now.
What a rich interview with Nothende Madumo. The last question, then we're closing it off. Finish the sentence. Through it all, you have learned.
I've learned two things. That love conquers all and life goes on, thankfully.
Wow. Nothende Madumo. Next week, we're going to be interviewing Mahalia Buchanan.
Hey, this is Nothende the Queen, and you're watching Truth Talk with Tumie Letsoenyo, the other queen.